Hi, everyone. This is Scott Tripp with Blockcast, as well as my great friend, Alex Cooper from Footprint Analytics. I'll let him introduce himself, of course, again.
Hey everybody, my name is Alex. I'm with Footprint Analytics. I'm the community guy, BD guy for North America, and I'm happy to be back with Scott again on our weekly news updates and commodity reports. So thanks for having me, Scott.
Yeah, no problem. And I'm excited to see what the market's been doing. I have been watching it, but I love to hear what you show. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Let me just share my screen here. Just kidding, I can't. You
oh, hold on one
disabled.
second.
Yeah, no problem.
That might be, there you go. You should be able to.
All right, let's get it done. So let me start off here just by showing you guys the fear and greed index. So right now we're in a bit of a state of fear, right? We're a little bit higher than last week's. I believe last week we were at 32. Now we're at 37. And yeah, that's because we had some big news this week. And I think we'll talk about that a little bit later. Looking at the commodities here, the Dow Jones, S&P 500, and the Nasdaq, all of them are about down about 1.5%. And looking at oil is also down. Natural gas is up. Gold, silver is up as well. To be expected, right? Banks are failing. Gold's going up. Corn and wheat are also up a little bit today as well. And then looking at our commodity report, which I have, or our crypto report, which I have in the Discord right here, looks like Binance is down about 3% today at $323. Bitcoin is also down 2.3%, hovering around um, 27,500. Ethereum's down 2.3% at 1750, and then Matic's down 2.7% today. But we had a couple big pumps over this week, and truthfully, I was expecting Bitcoin to go over 30,000 today. Shows my analyst skills is getting pretty close though.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, so there's some big news going down, Scott. Let me stop sharing my screen here and bring it back to you
Yeah, for sure.
about what's going down.
Yeah, so I'm going to show two things. And now, mind you, these are just people talking about what might potentially be happening. But of course, me and you are definitely going to talk about this. So
Hmm.
I'll bring this up right now, the first article. So as you can see here, Operation Chokepoint 2.0 may have contributed to SVB's collapse, Mulvaney. While the existence of Operation Chokepoint 2.0 has not been confirmed, Mick Mulvaney spoke of rumors of its existence and the potential side effects of such a policy. If the United States government really is implementing Operation Chokepoint 2.0, it will hurt financial stability and may have contributed to the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank, according to Donald Trump's former acting White House chief of staff, Mick Mulvaney. I don't want to think the government would actually do that, Mulvaney said in a March 22nd Bloomberg interview in reference to the rumored operation. He did, however, recall attending hearings on the original Operation Chokepoint, a government initiative that aimed to limit certain industry access to US banking services. So, as you could imagine, I mean, if you look at SVB and you look at Signature Bank, for one, Signature Bank, the big one for me on that one is they were allowing people to buy Signature Bank again, but they did not allow for anyone to operate crypto services on it if they were to purchase Signature Bank.
You know,
So in
I
that sense,
I've been
yeah.
seeing a lot of articles, really anti-crypto articles. I don't know if it's sensationalism or what, but DeSantis also said that he's trying to introduce a bill against uh, CBDCs.
CBDC. Yeah.
Now, that's a bit of a hot topic for a lot of people in the crypto market. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Is it inevitable? Right. So, but and also I saw an article of Mr. Cruz. What's his name? Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz
Yeah.
also uh, pushed forward a bill against CBDCs, but historically he's been pretty pro crypto. So I feel like he's against the fundamentals of CBDCs in the crypto market.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, and the thing with CBDCs is it allows the government to do the same thing that they're doing right now. They can print as much as they want. There's no limit to the amount that they need or want. So I mean, it does the counter opposite of, well, the opposite of what crypto does, where you know exactly how much is there, and there is a limit to how much you can have when you look at something like, say, Bitcoin or some of the other ones. So, I mean, the government probably doesn't like that idea of having to keep that accountability and the value continuously going up too. But I
Well, do
mean,
you know
it's
what
needed.
else people don't like the idea of right now?
What's that?
Keeping their money in banks.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
been a lot of young people, especially influx, rushing to get their money out of banks right now, due to what they've been hearing and just due to a little bit of lack of trust right now. We're hearing the government is bailing out a couple other banks as well. Maybe you have some articles on that, Scott, queued up. But um, yeah, it's been a pretty crazy week. Lots just like last week, lots
Yeah.
going on.
I don't have the article, but I know for one, I believe it was the Suez Bank or Credit Suez that
Hmm.
was part of a big thing in Europe. And the Swiss bank went in and bought it for, I think it was roughly 2 billion in the end that they ended up purchasing the bank for. But it was way less than the actual assets that were in the bank. But I mean, you get that feeling that they're on the move, trying to do stuff, trying to limit things that are going on. But in the end, it's like we talked about last time. A lot of these banks had issues not because of cryptocurrency, but because of the treasury bonds that they were holding on to.
Yeah,
So I mean,
and they're greedy, and anything, of course, right? We see this all the time. Anything but me, right? It's everyone else's fault but mine. I did everything right. It's the people, it's crypto, it's single mothers.
yeah.
Whatever kind of scapegoat that they can use to put the blame on anyone but themselves.
Well, and I got a good article about blame actually. I guess that's one thing we can show. That puts us right on that article. So Sushi and its head chef receives a SEC subpoena. The forum
Really?
post, yeah, published by Sushi head chef Jared Gray indicates that both he and the project itself were recently served on SEC subpoena. The post suggests establishing a $3 million legal fund to cover legal funds costs funded with Tether USDT stablecoin and introduced through a DAO proposal. Results from an early poll attached to Gray's original forums post suggests that much of the community is in favor of such a legal fund, with 80% of 21 voters stating that they favor establishing the fund. However, the vote is not a decision from Sushi's DAO. The forum post gives a few other details on the nature of the subpoena. The post says that Sushi will not comment further, but that it is cooperating with the SEC. The value of Sushi's native cryptocurrency token, Sushi, fell from 122 to 115 shortly after the news, representing a loss of approximately 6.5%. In theory, any decentralized finance project should be resistant to regulation due to a lack of central authority that can be targeted by authorities. As such, the Sushi community questioned how Sushi itself was subpoenaed. Third-party sites suggest the project is headquartered in New York or Japan, but it's not clear that any office exists. Supposedly, members of the project's DAO could be subpoenaed, but at least one member of the DAO has denied receiving any subpoenas. But the
Hmm.
thing is, the subpoena doesn't mean that they're going to go after them, but they do have issues with them, and they're going to try and find them or do whatever. They're not directly going in for the kill and trying to shut them down. But I mean, this kind of shows you the SEC has been doing this a lot lately. They've been picking some big targets where they get the most money, I feel, out of the targets, and the ones that they feel maybe potentially might not stand up for themselves as well as some of the bigger ones. So I'm kind of interested to see how this plays out as it goes on.
Yeah, and it's really interesting also to see, it's really going to be interesting to see, um, as more information comes out, how exactly they're cooperating with the SEC and what that means for users of Sushi. I'm assuming this is SushiSwap, right?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, so what this means for the users of SushiSwap. I mean, when you're using a decentralized exchange, the last thing on your mind is the government coming in and checking out what you're doing. So, And I guess this too, this brings it up to 2023, and really what is going to be getting shut down or going to be targeted by the SEC, Scott? Personally, in my opinion, I think the riskiest venture that you could do right now in crypto is open up a mixer or try to start a mixer.
Yeah.
God, that sounds like the worst business idea 2023, but they're necessary and they're needed and they're going to get done. But holy, that would get me spooked. Anything kind of decentralized swaps as well. You hear the government coming in after NFT wash trading. So I'm curious to see how Blur will be affected. It's going to be a crazy year with a lot of new regulations coming through. And I think how these protocols approach how they're cooperating is really going to be a deciding factor for a lot of people's trust in the overall industry.
Oh,
Um,
definitely.
mhm.
What you were mentioning Blur and wash trading. Can you kind of go into that a little
Well,
bit, or?
I mean anything like, let's say, like anytime you're selling an NFT for inflation, right? What's going to happen is, let's say I made a bunch of money. Otherwise, I'm going to start selling NFTs at a loss. So I can claim a loss and I can get offset in my taxes um, in other industries that I'm invested in, right? So it's going to be very interesting to see because the White House came out saying that they're cracking down on this sort of wash trading specifically. But this happens. It happens in Blur, right? Market manipulation is illegal in traditional markets,
Yeah.
um, and it's in a gray zone in crypto. Right? You can really debate all day about the ethics ethicality of the whole situation, right? But it is what it is, and that's probably a talk for another time.
Yeah. Well, and even I heard just recently the IRS came out and they're questioning the government on how they should tax NFTs or if they can tax NFTs as collectibles. So I
And
think we'll see
you
that
know,
in the near future.
I was looking at some conferences to check out coming up just for some networking. And I was looking at the speakers. Speakers are a big thing for me when checking out the conferences. And Consensus has the IRS representatives from the IRS coming in to speak at a crypto conference. That's got me spooked, but it's also quite kind of interesting. I wonder
Yeah.
what she has to say, and I wonder how careful she has to say it around a bunch of crypto fanboys, right? The
Yeah.
last thing I would want to see is the IRS getting booed off stage at a crypto conference. That sounds like a good way to speed up regulations.
Yeah. Well, and I couldn't imagine what would happen. Like, yeah, it's brave of her to be there and speaking about what their future plans are or what they're doing. But
Yeah,
you are
no
seeing a
taxes on NFTs. That's what she'll say. Everyone will cheer
and
and
then later that day you'll see another article posted probably saying something totally opposite, but that's
yeah.
okay. Yeah, that's so funny. Well, why don't you tell me about footprint analytics? Tell me
Yeah,
about what you
absolutely.
guys
We
have
got some
going on.
big things coming up here. Actually, I really want to show you guys this video that we just released. This is a tutorial on how to make a wallet profile step by step. It is super cool. Let me pull it up here. And our CTO Wade made it, which is just insane. Okay, why is that insane? Because Wade is so busy, he doesn't have time to be doing these videos. So you guys, I highly recommend you check this out: how to create a gamer wallet profile with our CTO Wade. You can find it on our YouTube channel, Footprint Analytics, and it really gives you step by step. We got and this is something that's really interesting. For example, Scott ask me, why would I want to create a wallet profile?
Yeah, why would I want to create one?
Because, all right, there's a couple of reasons. First of all, let's look at it from your side, Scott. I am playing a game and I want to be in the top 10 leaderboards of this game, but I can't do it. There's some guys gaming the system, but I have access to their wallets, their wallet addresses, right? I can plug this into Footprint and see exactly what they're holding, the transactions that they're doing, the time that they're making these transactions, and I can make more insights by seeing what they're doing and how I can do that so I can get up there as well. Or let's say, we're this wallet is, let's say, you're a high profile trader and you are doing MEV trading or something. I want to see, or you're just tracking some whales, right? You notice that this one whale is making a ton of money. I want to see his moves, right? I want to see what this guy is doing, what assets he's holding or her, and make choices based on that so that I can make money like them. From a dev standpoint, it's pretty sweet. Because you can start learning about your users, Scott. This is the most important thing, right? A good example would be, I'm planning on an airdrop for my active users in my game, right? I'm loving the way that the game's going, and I want to reward them with some tokens. But looking at our top most 100 active wallets, these guys are barely holding tokens, but they got a ton of NFTs. Maybe my community would like it more. Instead of getting airdrop tokens, I should airdrop them an NFT. Or, maybe I can figure out what wallets are really driving the revenue, get more insights of what they're holding, where else they're connected with, and start maybe working together through on-chain and off-chain data that we know to help make better changes or implement new communities. So I guess that's something why you'd want to use a wallet profile, which is pretty sweet. And with that being said, highly recommend you check out that video. And if you have been, hearing about Footprint, you like what we're doing, we're actually looking for some co-marketing proposals right now. We'll help you guys out, make a basic dashboard, decode a contract for you, and we'll even help implement it onto your website. Um, and in return, we want to work together with you. Some Twitter Spaces, retweeting, giveaways, all that fun sort of stuff. If you're interested in that and you like what Footprint's doing, please hit me up on our official Twitter DMs, or you can join our Discord as well and tag A Coops. That's me. And I'd be really happy to help you out and get set up with something like that. And that makes me really excited because I love having new Twitter Space guests, Scott. I love it. I love it. I love hearing new perspectives, and I love especially hearing new perspectives in areas that I don't know a lot about, right? So, yeah, I'm all about that sort of stuff, Scott. And again, that being said, that's my Footprint shill for the day. If you guys are really interested, again, follow the Twitter, send us a DM. I'll be there, and I'll be answering you.
Oh, that's awesome. And that's pretty cool. The ability to be able to see wallets now and seeing how they're transacting. And you'll
It is
probably
really
have
interesting.
features. Sorry.
It is super interesting, right? And you can
Yeah.
see the transactions that were, say, the highest value transactions compared to the lowest value transactions. Really, you could do a lot with the data based on your needs, right? What are you looking for specifically? And you can really gain some a lot of insights that way.
Yeah. So you can target your whole community if you wanted to. That's one way that users might need to look at this is if they have their own little NFT project on the go or something like that, where they need a little bit of insight on who bought and what they're doing, if they're holding, if they're not holding, you might want to go to Footprint and check out what they have.
Well, I definitely say you don't might want to hit up Footprint. You definitely want to hit up Footprint. We definitely have the best tool right now when it comes to CRM. Um, Honestly, in the Web3 scene right now, unless someone's building that I haven't heard about and you want to read me out in the DMs, feel free. But as of right now, what we're creating with our footprint growth analytics and how to do these wall profiles, it's really cutting edge here for the data analytics scene.
Yeah. And I'm going to do one chill here for Blockcast as well. I don't know if you've been watching lately. I've been watching the last little while, reading the website. They have some really good trading information on Blockcast.cc. If you go there, there's usually a couple articles every day about different projects and what's happening, what the feeling is behind it, where the potential is. I really like the articles. They're very well written, easy to understand, and just they're amazing. I posted a couple on my own Twitter, and I just like the information that they provided. And if I was in a trading mood right now, I'd probably be buying into some of these projects, not financial advice, but I mean, all the information that can be provided is great information to know and to look back into in the future. And you can see for yourself where it goes from what the articles say. So, and thank you, Alex, for taking the time out today. I know you're a busy man, you got lots on the go, but I really love these news meetings that we have and the information that we share. And I know we're going to be doing more of this in the future. So,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a pleasure. I love coming on here, sharing my opinions, and just talking with you, Scott, and discussing the news. It's great. Thanks, Blockcast, for having me on again. And I'm really excited to do not only doing more videos with Blockcast, but exploring what kind of partnerships we can get set up here with Footprint and Blockcast as well. So, I think we got a couple things in the woods works right now. A little too early to say, but stay tuned, you guys, for some Blockcast Footprint collaborations coming in.
yeah, we'll definitely have some more interviews. I'm hoping in the near future, get some big people
Mm-hmm.
on this show. I'm excited to see what we can do together, Alex. So,
Yeah, me too, Scott. Well, I guess with that being said, thank everybody for listening. If you liked what we're talking about, remember, like, comment, share the video. Tell me
follow
what was your
us.
favorite. Yeah, follow us. What was your favorite part about the video? What did you like? And what did you dislike? And you know, based on what we're talking about, what's your outlook here for the banks in the next week or so? Love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah.
And yeah, with that, we'll talk. We'll talk next week.
All right. Have a great day, you guys. Bye for now.